You're most welcome this session. In this session, we are going to talk about first aid. I know first aid has been sung and you have heard of this on the first time. But in this session, we are going to learn about its objectives, about the roles of first aid and the priorities of first aid. By definition, first aid, those are the actions undertaken to respond when someone or a casualty has been injured or has suddenly become ill, and you use the available resources that you have at that time. And therefore, a first aider is that person at the scene who attends to that casualty. And there are many three objectives. The first objective is to preserve life. That is through airway and breathing to make sure that they are intact. The second one is preventing the worsening of the condition of that casualty. And we do that by treating the injuries that somebody has sustained. Then the third one is to promote recovery and the quality of life. This one can be done through reassurance or calling for help or referral of the victim or the casualty. What are the priorities of first aid? The priorities can be remembered by using DRABC. D, is there any danger to you or the casualty? R, does the casualty respond when you talk to them? A, is the airway open? B, can the casualty actually breathe? And C, refers to saturation and can be interpreted in the following ways. If the casualty is not breathing, then you do what we call chest compressions. If the casualty is breathing, then you check whether there is any bleeding which is severe. And to assess the quality of saturation, you need to check the pulse. We are going to see these ones in the coming presentations that are going to be following this one. So what are the roles of a first aider? There are several, but we are only going to mention a few here. One is to assess the situation and ensure the safety for the first aider, the bystanders, and also for the victim. Two is to find out what is wrong with the casualty, to provide early and appropriate treatment to the casualty, to arrange a referral of a casualty to a health facility or a hospital, to remain with the casualty until the health personnel arrive. And this one can be done through reassurances. Then to report observations to healthcare personnel on arrival, to tell them what you have done and at what time did you do it. Then to prevent cross-infection between the first aider and the casualty. This is very, very important. Then in first aid, we have what we call types of assessment. We have primary survey and secondary survey. In surveys, we imply the situation where you ensure that the environment is safe for the casualty and for the first aider. But at the same time, you are assessing the victim. So what is primary survey, or what is done during primary survey? One, you must assess the casualty. You tap for a response. You check the airway and open the airway. You check the breathing. You check the pulse. And you commence what we call CPR and continue till help arrives. We shall have a look at what CPR is. Secondary survey. In secondary survey, you repeat what has been done in primary survey, but more in details. You do the medical history of a casualty, what happened, when it happened, the recent illness, external clues, medication pack, whether somebody has any medication, warning, or medical forms with him or books, circumstances that caused it. Was it a fall? Was the person knocked, or he just collapsed abruptly? That's what we call secondary survey. And in the coming presentations, we shall look in detail what are the ABCs of first aid. Thank you so much.